I wanted to kind of wrap up, although it's a more lengthy story, but even how we went about initially branding a concept and how we've had to relook at that quite quickly, because what we did is really not unlike a lot of organizations in our industry. We had a great concept and idea, but we didn't have any money, any resources. We had some expertise, but not enough to, we're not graphic designers. We're not, we can't design all these elements, but we wanted it to represent our brand. So I wanted to quickly show you a story of our Michigan Cares for Tourism organization in its quick 3-year life, going from not existing, right, to now having 3 years of experiences, and how the marketing brand identity has changed because we've learned quickly and we've tapped into other resources to make the brand identity better match the experience people get. I hope that makes some sense. So we go from nothing, and we go from having to design a logo or a look because we know we're going to deliver an experience. Now we did our homework. We've asked people, we've engaged people, we focus group, but we asked people formally. We had a whole bunch of logo ideas kind of submitted, or concepts, and so we put it on a Facebook page and said, hey, what do you guys think of these? If you had to pick one, and we put letters next to them, tell us what you think. And look at, people told us what they thought. So what a simple, easy way to, instead of sitting in our little ivory tower office trying to design concepts or looks, that we could at least do this inexpensively, quickly, and get a lot of good feedback to help refine it. So again, they told us. And so what we ended up finalizing from these initials, what they liked about some, didn't like some, and again, doing it for no money, had no money, we had no resources to do this, but we knew branding this experience that we were doing was going to be really important. So we solicit the help of a graphic designer actually for free. Beg, borrow, and steal to say, could you please, we know this logo is going to be really important. We know everything we're going to convey. Nobody knows about us. Nobody, because we're brand new. So we need to have this invested. So that was what was agreed upon based on, again, taking steps to get feedback, aside from our team of people involved with Michigan Cares, also that. But we knew, no resource, no money, very little expertise. Could we tap into people? Now, having said that, that lasted for our first year. So we used this logo initially, but as we were moving up the product life cycle, which we'll get into chapter 10, as we moved up the product life cycle from no participation, nobody knows about us, to people hearing us, we knew we wanted to continue to refine our brand standards. And because our brand identity wasn't incredibly well communicated yet, right? We're brand new. So only X amount of people know about us so far. We could look at our imagery and our identity to be more reflective of what we wanted to do. So the beauty, the greatest gift we were given is the interest in our cause by a marketing firm that could help us facilitate that process. So they said, we're gonna do your other marketing materials, but they asked us, could we relook at your brand, because we'd like your brand identity, your logo. We'd like you to relook at another logo. So they gave us a bunch of ideas, and they said, here, for your next project, we were going into 2014, and they said, here's another idea of what you could do, or here's something like this, or yet here's something like this. What do you think? So we did a focus group. We took these 3 concepts, we put it on a table, a group of people, and we went through them. What do you like? What do you not like? What does it say what we do, etc. So you can imagine they're a little bit industrial. They tried to tie in the heart kind of idea, but it didn't quite feel it. This look we liked better. This feel and look, professional, tied to history some, but this logo for us didn't match this look and feel. So the idea of lots in there, but we kind of liked it. And then the third example here, this felt very governmental to us, again, professional, look good, but the feel of it was factual, governmental kind of idea. So honestly, they came back to us with these 3 concepts, and we were like, oh, we kind of like this, don't like this, doesn't really represent who we are. And then they came back to us with a redesigned look and feel that would better match that. We all bought into again, you can see elements from the other pages, but it wasn't identical. We got to give them a sense of this really is more about who we are. So this was the logo we adopted, and then again, we had to rethink all of our materials. Even though some were good, some were not so good, again, recognize zero base budget, right? So no resources. How can we get to this part of the process? We have a great design, right, in terms of what we're going to offer people, but I have to go tell them in meaningful ways. The target market was the tourism industry, right? All the professionals who work in the tourism industry. So I have to tell them in meaningful ways, or they're not going to believe we're going to create a great experience for them. So what a challenge when, again, I recognize, just like you are working for organizations that have no budget line item that says reinvesting in the brand, brand identity funds. So how do we do great things with little resource? One is, I say, put the pennies aside, save for the resource because it's worth the investment. What a difference a professional marketing firm, could do for us. So here was our flyer about the experience, right? And we did this internally with some graphic support as we could find it. But again, didn't pay lots of dollars to do that. And thankfully, we had, again, that concept that we enjoyed from their look, and this marketing firm gave us that look and feel. So again, even though I was still proud of that effort, it looked good, it looked like a brand, it felt like we were going to give a professional experience. This really took us up a notch to a really professional experience. And again, what we give to people in the Michigan Cares experience better match that imagery, because if we don't deliver at this level, we don't deserve to have a brand identity like that kind of idea. So this was our sponsorship guide in our last plan. Again, I was very proud of that. That took a tremendous amount of work. It looked professional. It was multi-pages, laid out well, told the story well. But the rebranding, tweaking of us, second year, again, created something that very much looked like our other pages, right? Our other concepts, our other look and feel. Less words, stronger visuals, really matching our brand identity that was newly established. So consistency through our materials. So again, just to give, instead of just saying the value of your sponsorship, they gave us the personality feel of different words. Hey, this is what you get for caring. What a different sense. You look at these two pieces, and I look at our first 2 years, 2013, 2014, I look at those materials and I'll go, okay, I was proud of this stuff, but I'm really proud of this. They helped us with language, they helped us with a theme, a concept, a feel, and I feel like we have a strong brand identity now that represents what we do, what we believe, what we value, right? It's our promise. And if we're promising that, are we given that? Here was our first back of our t-shirt, but again, our second sponsor list matches that same look and feel. Same thing with websites. Our first website page, we had a second level to our third level where we're using the right logo look. This was, a Weebly.com free template. Thank goodness for them, because we weren't going to be, programmers, etc. But then we got internal support from one of our partners, namely Grand Valley, and Grand Valley allowed us to use a content management system. We went from Content Management 3 to Content Management 4, which is a software base, right, that allows us to design this website. So creating a website, an unbelievable amount of time. Every page, every word, every photo, critically important, because we know how important the website's going to be to us. Again, recognizing we had to have strategies and talking points, looking at our strengths and our weaknesses for every tool we were going to use, right? Because we wanted that brand identity to flow throughout. So whether it was our first Facebook page, right, with 71 likes to today over 1,000 likes. This one's 700. We have over 1,000 today. But making sure that imagery is throughout all of our Twitter, Facebook, right? All of those pages have to have that representation. We created videos because we knew we needed a visual, verbal selling tool. When we looked at all of the elements we were going to need to share our message, it couldn't just be a brochure and expect people to read that, or an email to expect people to read, or a social site. We needed a video that we could get in the hands of people and get them to watch it. We knew also we would have an audience at the Governor's Conference on Tourism that we could show that video. So our first video, I'm going to show it to you, but don't make fun of me. Again, robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of idea. I knew I wanted a video. You had to write a script first. I had to organize our talking points, what it is we wanted to convey, and then how could I do it inexpensively and with tools like even phones. It is amazing the quality you can create, but you've got to think market branding. You've got to think about how that visual is going to be conceived by people, and can I do it professionally in a way, in-house with no money, with some editing expertise and talent until I can hire that videographer and editor to make me a better visual. So script became key, personality of the brand, what was our purpose, how could we convey those talking points. So our first attempt at a 1.5-minute video was for our first event, that I could get into the hands of tourism professionals and explain who we were. Because again, product life cycle, beginning element, nobody knows about us. So really important that I used a video to help communicate that. But boy, no money, how are you going to do it? Well, technology today and some of the tools, we can get closer to doing it for nothing. So kick back, take a look at this first one first.
Come, join us. This is our heritage, Michigan. The Mill Lake Outdoor Center in the Waterloo Recreation Area opened its doors in 1934 and closed in 2001 after welcoming urban youth and many others to their first travel experience in the out of doors.
Michigan Cares for Tourism is a volunteer partnership between Michigan tourism organizations. Our goal is to breathe life into historic sites throughout Michigan, and we're asking you as tourism professionals to help restore our first site at Mill Lake. So join us as a volunteer, a sponsor, or a donor, because we want to do this together.
So you make a difference every day in our industry. I support Michigan Cares for Tourism because it provides another way for us to make a difference by getting your hands dirty, by working on a project together, and to truly make a difference in a more personal way.
Help us preserve Pure Michigan. Be a part of the Michigan Cares for Tourism organization.
But really what you're doing is you're making an impact on the future of our community and our state of Michigan.
There's a job for everyone, regardless of your ability, and we need your time and your talents on October 6th and 7th. So please join us for a fun-filled and memorable experience and help us to restore and reopen the Mill Lake Outdoor Center at the Waterloo Recreation Area once again.
So our first video in that case, I tapped into every resource we could come up with. We had some cameras, we had some
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place.
Got one, baby.
I woke up
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is a pickleball. We got ourselves a big fish. That, boys and girls, is a fish.
and it's a beautiful day.
Hey, David here with my fishing place. Today is day one for me of my trip to Ocala National Forest. I'm really excited because there's a lot of lakes out here. There's no way I can fish them all, but I'm going to try and do a few of them. And today I'm at Mill Dam Lake, and it's actually where I'm staying. I'm staying at the Mill Dam Lake Resort, which is right behind me. You can see the cabins right there along the lake shore. And I really have no idea what to expect. I launched my boat right from their property because in my twin troll it's really easy to do. If you're in a bigger boat, you can stay here, and there's a launch real close here, the Mill Dam Lake launch. It's it's easy to find. It's part of the Park Service, and you could always just leave your boat here on the shore if you wanted to. But I went ahead and just launched here, and I'm going to have a look around. The lake looks a little shallow, actually quite a bit shallower than what it normally is. But the fish have got to be out here. Let's see if we can go find them. Okay, I'm right along the shoreline here, not too far from where I started.
Who we were.
And
so at the very last minute,
it's gotten pretty shallow
me
but
outside
it's
of
only like about
actually
2
in
feet deep.
Lansing,
I'm
outside of
thinking
the
that's what
DNR
my
offices,
depth finder's
because
saying.
putting the video
But
together, we
it's
were
about
like,
a foot
we
and a
don't
half
explain who we
of
are. That
this,
was a talking point.
I don't know,
It
this
doesn't all
underwater
fit.
plant life or something.
Somebody's
Can I
got to
show you
do
from
it,
the camera here?
and it looks like me right now.
And
so literally,
that
walk
is
outside,
almost up to the surface or close
had
to the
on what I
surface.
had on, hair was what it was,
And you know
face
there's
was,
got to
and
be
I
fish
just
hiding around in this
had
stuff.
to
Can you
get that
see it?
message
Can you
across,
see it
or
down
this
here?
video would not have worked. And time was an element, money was an element, expertise was an element. We had what we had, and that's what we did. So I am proud of that video, but I also know when we
I thought I caught some weeds,
could engage
and I
this
did, but I
professional
caught a fish
marketing
with it.
firm
Look
who
at that.
has
That is funny.
videographers and voice people and video.
I didn't even know you
that
were
they
on there,
could
fish.
capture for us. They could do something.
I must admit, that's the first time I caught a fish that I didn't even know I had a
knew
fish.
what my brand identity needed to
Well,
be.
we know they have fish in
I
here.
needed
Bye-bye,
help
fishy.
getting there. So,
Well,
second
he's out of
level
it. He was
then
rambunctious.
became our new logo look. Again, see the difference, but the whole branding identity conveyed.
I think we got a
in
fish
the
on the line.
video.
Yes, we do.
Again,
We sure
scripted
do.
Again, but kickback. This one's a little longer because we had a bigger opportunity. We had very specific talking points and an objective
There he
for doing
is.
the video. And
Another
where
little
we were
guy.
gonna share the video at the governor's conference in that case. So take a look.
There's got to be bigger fish in there. There's got to be.
Welcome
Little
to
guy,
Michigan,
ain't he cute?
our state,
All right, I'll let you
where
go.
rich heritage and a tradition of hard work is a pride
Man,
all
they're
of us
rambunctious,
bear.
those little guys.
Michigan buys American
This is a
and
pretty neat
takes
little lure, the Prawl X-Wrap. This one's with the blue and white. It's got
Okay.
a little bit of orange or red down
This
there.
is the disadvantage.
Take a
We
look
had to
how
get
it's
the fishing guy off. Let's try this again, shall we? So sorry, you guys. Here we go. So close. Yeah. For that, we're going to start it over. Here we go. Kick back now. And take a look. Thank goodness for professionals.
Welcome to Michigan, our state, where rich heritage and a tradition of hard work is a pride all of us bear. Michigan buys American and takes care of its own. And everyone here knows you can't do real work without getting your hands dirty. But perhaps the best thing about the great people in the great state of Michigan is that no matter what walk of life we come from, when it's time to get our hands dirty to do something meaningful for the people that make their homes, families, jobs, and memories in this great state, people and organizations come together to get things done. Every time. And that's exactly what's happening with Michigan Cares for Tourism. Chartered by Grand Valley State University's Hospitality and Tourism Management Department, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Travel Michigan, Tourism Cares, and Indian Trails, Michigan Cares for Tourism coordinates vital cleanup events at treasured Michigan tourism locations each year that are in need of revitalization. Once a location is selected, tourism industry professionals from around the state participate in the cleanup effort by volunteering their time and talents to help restore the location. But time is not the only thing that's donated. Generous sponsors provide resources needed for the events and restoration efforts. Michigan Cares for Tourism is a 100% volunteer, 100% give-back organization, with all proceeds solely designed to contribute to the cleanup of Michigan's historic attractions. An investment of time and love that is sure to pay dividends for Michigan residents for years to come. The first year of Michigan Cares for Tourism took us to historic Mill Lake at the Waterloo Recreation Area, where we worked to reinvigorate a historic gem for all to enjoy. It was a huge success and served as a jumping-off point for the entire program. Last year's project took us to Michigan's 102nd State Park, Belle Isle. Once again, our team of volunteers came together to restore and beautify this Michigan treasure for a new generation of tourists to enjoy. Over the past 2 years, our projects have engaged over 500 tourism professionals and 77 sponsors who have given their time, talents, and resources to these sites, resulting in excess of $156,000. And as a testament to their hard-working nature and fellowship of our tourism community, this year we're upping the ante with 2 sites that need our help. The Sturgeon Point Lighthouse, built in 1870, has been a shining navigation light for maritime commerce vessels for 145 years. Located along the coastline of the Thunder Bay Marine Sanctuary, it is the only national freshwater marine sanctuary in the United States and is home to our first Michigan Cares for Tourism event this year on Monday, May 18th and Tuesday, May 19th. Then on October 4th, 5th, and 6th, we're off to Fayette Historic State Park, nestled on the Garden Peninsula in the Michigan UP. This park offers visitors a unique experience to discover the story of a 19th century iron smelting town located along the shoreline of Big Bay Denok. This once bustling community will be bustling with our volunteers, working to make the entire town a place all can continue to enjoy. Join us this year on our two ambitious projects, May 18th and 19th at the Sturgeon Point Lighthouse in Harrisville, Michigan, and Fayette Historic State Park October 4th, 5th, and 6th. Michigan Cares for Tourism is excited to continue on with our mission of restoring and reinvigorating historic Michigan landmarks. But we can't do it without your help. Volunteering your time, donating supplies, or providing sponsorship and helping to spread the word are all ways to get involved. Your investment of time, supplies, and money will be repaid in smiles and memories for years to come. Don't wait. Register at MichiganCaresForTourism.org.
So, thanks for that. But what a difference. You know, again, I was proud of our first effort, and we did it with nothing, no resources or limited resources, certainly, and it didn't hurt our brand of what we're going to do. But the new videos are amazing and really even help us strive to be better and better, because we want to deliver on an experience that is representative of the brand identity that's been created for us. So what a joy, but what a process. And what, again, every little decision we make in marketing is incredibly important. And we want that to have a strong base of research and strategy and where we've come from. So the same idea related to our post-event videos, which again, some volunteers have helped create, and you can certainly click on either one of these and see those post-event wrap-up experiences that are more personal, more fun. And it gave us, because we were capturing video and still photography during our events, it gave us the chance to use those in future promotional pieces. So 5 phases of the experience, those first videos again, designed to get people to come, 4 objectives. Here's who we are, here's what we've done, here's where we're going, and here's what we need, right? Call to action, 4 objectives of those promotional videos to get people to come. Post videos is to, again, allow people to be excited about what they've done, to share the message of all the accomplishments of our industry, right? To get people back home clicking on the video so they can see themselves and be proud of the effort they've done, and feed us back into anticipation. So those 5 phases are represented here, right? From anticipation video to reflection video. So let's just take a look. First one we did, and with the help of others, not volunteers.
Michigan Cares for Tourism is a volunteer partnership between tourism organizations in the state of Michigan. 100% volunteer and 100% give back, and it is formed off the national model of what Tourism Cares does at the national level. We are the first state in the nation to decide to tackle it as a state and model ours on their effort. So I'm very excited in our first event, and a chance for just Michigan tourism professionals to gather together, share their time, their talent, and their resources to make a historic attraction in Michigan a better place.
The Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau brought 13 folks with us, and who better than industry professionals to come together and make it beautiful once again.
This project here at Mill Lake is just the beginning of an effort where we can care for some of our other cultural resources as well. So not only the Mill Lake Outdoor Center, but we have lighthouse facilities, we have lots of other CCC era buildings and that sort of thing. So we're hoping that this is the beginning of a really good partnership. With almost 100 people here today, we're making progress that would have taken a couple of months of DNR staff time.
We're involved in this because we believe in supporting the state of Michigan any way we can, and especially when the tourism industry comes together to volunteer their time, we want to have a part of that as well.
You know, Michigan really needs this type of event opportunity because in this day and age of restricted budgets, limited funding, you know, bring the volunteers together and start refurbishing and revitalizing many of our historical sites around the state. And this will only impact very positive things for all of our communities and the state of Michigan in particular.
So the most exciting part about today is that we really see this as almost a catalyst, like the first part of something really, really great that we can help do with this region. Mill Lake is right in the heart of Waterloo Recreation Area, and it's nestled right inside the Big 400. The great thing about the Big 400 is that it's a regional tourism collaboration, and it's a group of convention and visitor bureaus coming together and really helping to promote the area. And Mill Lake is a wonderful asset that's been sitting within that area that could actually help draw more people to this beautiful destination for outdoor recreation right here in the heart of Michigan.
You know, this kind of event benefits Michigan tourism professionals because it gives us a chance to get out together, to network, to learn that there are other people from all over the state that enjoy this product, this thing that we call tourism, and want to give something back. It's a fun thing, but we're doing something very, very important. I think we need to make a statement as an industry, not just to other people in this industry, but to the public as a whole. And this is our chance to give back to something that has given so much to us.
And then Grassroots Efforts, one of our volunteers, made this post-event video from the Belle Isle experience.
We're at the entrance of the Fort Augusta Recreation Area between Augusta and Battle Creek, Michigan.
How do we know?
The recreation area is part of the larger...
Well, because 422 people from across the state, from the UP to Detroit, came together to help clean up Belle Isle. On that one day, people from every segment of the tourism industry came together and worked on 9 different projects. Belle Isle is just one of Michigan's state parks, and it's located right in Detroit. Michigan cares for tourism, and so does Governor Snyder. So what now? Get involved, because this is only the beginning. Log on to MichiganCaresForTourism.org for more information. And get involved. It's that easy.
So again, one of our volunteers had video expertise and editing expertise and did his own voiceover, and what an amazing, Marty, again, thanks for that, but what an amazing piece to let people reflect, and people wanted to watch it, but 5 phases addressed, and again, all of these pieces were about the communication we designed. Again, lots of ways to communicate, not just with what was shared, but think about things like your Facebook and your LinkedIn pages, personal pages from people, not just the organizational ones. LinkedIn group sites you might belong to, other communication partners you can transition with. So our Pure Michigan Tourism Update wanted to be in that piece, absolutely. Still want to get my video as a profile, working on that always. But even sending messages. I sent one to the governor, heck, this is what we're doing. You should look at this. This is great. We'd like to have you. One of my favorite things that we saw one of our volunteers doing that, again, strategically hadn't thought to even ask people to do was in their out of office. So the Bavarian Inn, the family that owns the Bavarian Inn came and volunteered, and they manage it as well. And they said, I'm currently out of the office because I'm going to volunteer at Michigan Cares for Tourism. I mean, if I could get every volunteer to just put that on their out of office, that's awesome communication to everybody who comes into their email. I mean, think about that. I still got to work on this one some more. Great idea. But then media attention is it too. So public relations we'll talk about later this semester. Big part of it. But do we have a story to tell? And if we have a story to tell, will the media talk about that? And think about all of our media attention, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of media attention, because we have a good experience worthy of talking about. But here we're going to do some work on Mill Lake, the number of people, so pre-event, post-event, certainly. Again, blogs, media, traditional, non-traditional. Detroit, we want a grant, we want an award. So all of that different, look at all of the publications that had some interest in talking about it and looking at it. Lots of forums, lots of authors, lots of people engaged. And then visual media, you know, here's a volunteer being profiled in a news segment, another news segment, and then we actually had more recently on MLive, Take 5, it was on Take 5, a whole 10 minutes where one of our partners got to talk about Michigan Cares and all we were doing on that television show. I mean, unbelievable attention because our why is strong, our offering is strong, very focused target market and messaging, and we're going to use all those tools. And now that we have a strong brand identity, boy, shame on us if we don't take advantage of it, kind of idea. So this branding concept not only relates conceptually here as we transition into this worksheet that will make more sense when you read chapter 9 and watch the video as well, but this branding concept will be very formally decided as we get into chapter 11 more, actually making that decision. So our goal here in the rest of chapter 8 and moving to chapter 9 is how do we transition from strategy to tactics and looking at the messaging we're going to use and the brand identity we currently have to what we want to have. So I hope some of those storytelling has made some better sense of this concept and transition as we move forward. An incredibly important part of this marketing plan process is, gosh, if I have all the right stuff to be ready delivered to this target market, I better do it in meaningful messaging and in meaningful ways. So let's make sure that brand identity is really strong, because the brand represents what? Everything that we do. Have a great day.